So what is a random forest? It is a method of bagging technique. Each classifier in the SM ensemble is a decision tree. We use only decision tree classifier here and is generated using a random selection of attributes at each node to determine the split. So during classification, each tree votes and the most popular class is returned. There are two methods to construct random forest: random input selection and random linear combinations. Randomly selects at each node f attributes as candidates for the split at the node. We'll take sample as randomly selected rows as samples for the input and creates a new attributes that are linearly combination of the existing attributes, reduces the correlation between individual classifier. So we'll see with an example. Suppose I have a data set D here. Now, how does random forest basically works on this? In bagging, we basically have many based learners models like M1, M2, and so on, Mn. Here also we consider the same thing. We consider model 1 base learner, model 2 base learner 2, base learner 3, and so on, nth base learner, model n or nth base learner. So in designing this particular model in random forest, this model is basically called as decision tree models. These models are decision tree models. Basically, we consider only decision tree models for all the base learners. We have seen in bagging technique, suppose in this particular data set, we have n records. Let me consider we have n records and m number of columns. So what we do is that from this data set, we will be picking up some sample of rows and sample of columns, some sample of rows and some sample of features. So what are features here? Column names, columns. So we are considering initially, I will pick up some sample of rows RS, row sampling, and with replacement, using with replacement. Definitely you have to remember row sampling with replacement. And similarly, I'm going to pick up some columns, or we can also say this as a feature sample. We call this as a feature sample. We consider this as data set D dash, sample data set, that is D dash. This is what a bagging technique. We know that D dash is always less than D, right? D dash is always less than D. All the sample data set is always less than main data set. And suppose we take a D dash which is like rows and features. Like let me consider rows as n dash, features as m dash. Remember one thing, n dash is always less than n, m dash is always less than m. So the row sampling and feature sampling, which n dash and m dash, we combine these two to get d dash. Sample columns and sample rows, we are going to combine them to form a sample data set. Always remember that we have to take some number of rows and some number of columns or some number of features and give them to decision tree. Here we are considering this as decision tree 1, 2, 3, and so on, n. So give the first data sample data set to the decision tree 1, then this will get trained on the sample data. Now for second model, again we do the same thing. Again we are going to select a row sample with replacement and feature sample. There is possibility of getting same sample, some of them, some of rows or some of features will get matched with the second sample data set, right? Not all the rows, but there is a possibility of getting some sample 1 rows are matched with the second sample data set. Now all decision tree models are trained. We are using the same thing here. All the decision trees. Like we'll take 3 like this. So now all the decision tree models are trained and ready to give predictions. Whenever I get my test data, suppose I have take one particular row from dataset D to the DT1. That is, I'm going to give a new data set from this. A new data for the first one, for the first decision tree. So considering here binary classification, decision tree 1 gives 1, and after that it passes to decision tree 2, it gives again 1, again decision tree gives 0, decision 4 gives 1. Let us consider this as decision tree 4. So we got 4 predictions. According to bagging, we have to aggregate this using majority vote. The maximum models gives 1. So output is 1. So the new data which is passed through data set to all the base learners or to all the models which is already trained by using sample data set with replacements, that output we got as 1 now. So this is how random forest basically works. The base learner is decision tree. Definitely we are going to use only decision tree here. We need to understand one more thing in this. What will happen when we use many decision trees in this particular random forest? Whenever we use decision tree, it has 2 properties. So I'm creating a decision tree to its complete depth. So in depth, so I'm considering a decision tree complete depth. So complete depth means what? It goes on, going on. In depth, we have to consider that decision tree. So it basically has what? 2 properties. One is low bias and the second one is high variance. So if we create a data decision tree to depth, what happened means it will properly trained for our training data set, so that training error will be very less. So training error will be very less. Coming to high variance, whenever we get a new test data, whenever we give a new test data, those to the data decision trees, they will give large amount of errors. So whenever we are creating a decision tree in depth, it leads to overfitting. It leads to overfitting. So what happens in random forest? In random forest, here we are using multiple decision trees having high variance. So each decision tree gives high variance. So each gives high variance. But when we combine all these decision trees with the help of majority votes, then high variance is converted into low variance. So this is going to converted into low variance. Because when we are using row sample plus feature sample to give the data decision tree for training, the decision tree tends to becoming an expert with respect to specific rows and that the decision that a data set having. So since we are giving different sets of rows to decision tree, they are getting trained with all rows of data sets. So now in order to convert this high variance to low variance, we are going to take majority votes here. We are not just depend on only one decision tree output. So because of this, we are going to convert high variance to low variance by combining multiple decision trees. Now, one more advantage we need to know here, we need to understand here. Suppose we have 1,000 records. Let me consider we have 1,000 records here in the data set D. Suppose let's change 200 records or update 200 records in the particular 1,000 records. Will this change of records impact random forest all decision trees? So we are doing row sampling and feature sampling for each and every data decision tree. Now, if we change only 200 rows records, now this change will never impact to the sampling of training data set of training decision trees. And accuracy of prediction also will not get impacted. So that is why this high variance, even though whenever we change the data, we will get low variance. Why? Because we are going to combine all the outputs to get a single prediction. So that is error rate will be very less and accuracy will be very good, since we are taking majority votes from all the decision trees, all the decision tree models. Suppose if this is not a binary, suppose if this is not a binary classification, if it is a regression problem, it's not like binary, it's a regression. We are not considering like binary classification. Then what will happen? Then instead of this, what will happen if we select a regression? So here, dataset decision tree will give continuous values here. Same as decision tree gives continuous values, decision 3 gives continuous values, decision 4 will give continuous values. So for this in regression problem, we either take mean of all these values or we take median of all these values, mean or median. The main thing is it takes average of all the outputs that decision tree model gives. So how many decision trees we need to use? We need to use based on according to hyperparameter. According to hyperparameter, we have to decide how many decision trees we need to take for a particular problem. And by for the regression problem, we have to take either mean or median of all the outputs given by all the decision trees. And among them, we get the final one. The majority value will be the output.